law violation for which there's a warrant. And I think that covers it.
They said the injunction, you have the no contact order, they said not allowed to stay. So it has to be changed in writing by judge.
Next, I have Teresa Scott.
Yeah, no. You gotta go back before the judge assigned to that case. He set you at no bond.
Do I have Brittany Williams here? Are there any other witnesses out there?
Two, Your Honor.
And I'll keep asking. Ms. Williams is here on a charge of dating violence battery. I'm sorry, Ms. Scott, what did I just say? Oh, Ms. Williams is the victim. Let me start all over again. Good morning, Ms. Scott. I have before me Teresa Scott. She is here on a charge of battery, dating violence, aggravated battery with causing great bodily harm, and burglary to an occupied dwelling with an assault or battery therein. They are currently, all these charges are set at no bond. State, is Ms. Scott entitled to some part or all of conditions of release on these charges?
If probable cause is found, Your Honor, the state would be requesting that on count 3, burglary of a dwelling with an assault or battery therein, that the defendant be held no bond, as that is a punishable by life offense.
All right. Based upon the charging affidavit, I do find probable cause as to the burglary of an occupied dwelling with an assault or battery therein. I'm going to stay the bond at none on that charge and schedule a pretrial detention hearing.
For April 22nd at 9 o'clock in courtroom 7B.
As to the aggravated battery, I'm going to set bond in the amount of $2,500. As to the dating violence battery, I'm going to set bond in the amount of $1,000. Conditions of release should Ms. Scott be released will include no contact directly or indirectly with Brittany Renee Williams, no return to 5168 Millennia Boulevard, no contact directly or indirectly with Christian Padilla or his address at 5024 Millennia Boulevard, no alcohol, no drugs without prescription, no weapons or firearms, and I'm going to appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent Ms. Scott.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, good luck.
So they'll determine your bond on the 22nd. You gotta wait.
Affidavit on, thank you.
Doesn't matter, the charge.
All right, next I have BJ Bruno Saint Florent.
Oh, the one we're looking at.
All right, Mr. Saint Florent is here on a charge of battery by strangulation, domestic violence, and battery domestic violence. And do we have Brianna Anderson?
Yes.
All right. Madam Clerk, would you go ahead and swear Ms. Anderson?
Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give should be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Please state your name for the record.
Brianna Anderson.
All right, Ms. Anderson, part of my job this morning is to determine probable cause on this case and also to set conditions of release to protect the community at large and you in particular. I'm going to permit the prosecutor to ask you some questions for my benefit, and I'll ask that you listen to her questions. I may have some follow-up questions or not. State, you may inquire of Ms. Anderson.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
You're going to have to speak up just a bit.
Good morning.
Thank you. How do you know the defendant?
My boyfriend.
Do you live together?
No.
While this case is pending, do you want to have contact with him?
Yes.
Has something like this happened before?
No.
Were drugs or alcohol involved in this incident?
No.
If something like this were to happen again, would you be comfortable contacting law enforcement?
Yes.
Are you afraid of him?
No.
Thank you very much for coming in. Your Honor, I have no further questions.
All right, State, what are your thoughts on conditions of release?
Your Honor, I'll leave it in the court's discretion, but I would just take note of his history. Your Honor, there does appear to be other, at least arrests with domestic violence.
With this victim or other victims?
The victim's testimony was that this has not happened before with her, so I would say with other victims, Your Honor, based on her testimony.
All right, and then Ms. Anderson, you don't live with Mr. Mr. Saint Laurent, is that correct?
No, I have my own place.
You have your own place, and you have children, but not with him, correct?
Yes.
Okay, all right. All right, based upon the charging, the facts contained in the charging affidavit, I am gonna find probable cause. I'm gonna, Mr. Saint Laurent, did you want me to appoint the public defender to represent you?
Yes.
All right, I'm going to appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you. Notwithstanding Ms. Anderson's testimony here today, I'm concerned about the facts contained in the charging affidavit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to require that Mr. St. Florent have no contact directly or indirectly with Ms. Anderson. That means no social media, telephone, text messaging, having friends reach out to her. Ms. Anderson, that is a condition that I'm placing on Mr. St. Florent's release currently. His case is going to be assigned to Division 14. The conditions of release that I impose today can be modified at the defendant's request. You may be asked to appear in front of the judge in Division 14 and share with that judge your thoughts as to whether he should be permitted to have contact with you. But for the time being, I'm going to order no contact. I don't see a need to do that. They're also to maintain separate residences. I understand that they do not reside together or have children in common. Also going to require no alcohol, no drugs without prescription, no weapons or firearms. That leaves me to set bond. On the battery by strangulation, I'm going to set bond in the amount of $2,500. Battery domestic violence, I'm going to set bond in the amount of $500. That's a total of $3,000. And as I indicated earlier, I'm going to appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent Mr. St. Florent.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Good luck.
Call about 10%, so
Glenn Taylor. We have Daryl Taylor here.
Yes, we do.
All right, I've reviewed the charging affidavit. Mr. Glenn Taylor is charged with battery on a person 65 years or age of or older. Apparently, the victim is Daryl Taylor, who is the defendant's brother. And they were at the home of their mother, Catherine Brown. Madam Clerk, would you go ahead and swear Mr. Taylor?
Raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give should be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes,
Please state your name for the record.
Daryl Taylor.
All right, Mr. Taylor, did I get that correct? You're Glenn Taylor's brother?
Pardon me?
Are you the defendant's brother?
Yes.
Okay. Do you live together?
Yes.
Okay. And you live together at the Riley Avenue address?
Right.
Okay. And who else lives there with you?
My mom,
Okay. And how old is your mom?
97.
97. That's great. All right. Mr. Taylor, I'm gonna permit the prosecutor to ask you some questions for my benefit. Please listen to her questions and answer those questions. It'll help me determine conditions of release. All right, State, did you want to inquire of Mr. Taylor?
Good morning, sir.
Morning.
While this case is pending, do you want to have contact with your brother?
None whatsoever.
Are you afraid of him?
Yes.
Has something like this happened before?
Yes.
Were drugs or alcohol involved in this incident?
Yes.
Can you tell me which one, or was it both?
Both.
I thank you very much for coming in, sir. Your Honor, I have no further questions.
All right, based upon the charging affidavit and Mr. Taylor's testimony here today, I'm going to find probable cause on the charge of battery on a person 65 years of age or older. Mr. Taylor, how old are you?
65.
You're 65, all right. I'm going to set bond in the amount of $2,500. I'm going to require that Mr. Taylor, Mr. Glenn Taylor, have no contact directly or indirectly with his brother, Daryl Taylor, or their mother, Catherine Brown. He is not to return to the residence at 1710 Riley Avenue in the city of Orlando. Mr. Glenn Taylor will be permitted to return one time in the presence of law enforcement for a very brief opportunity to collect personal effects. Mr. Taylor, 10, 15 minutes is all they're gonna give you, so you've got time to get your personal effects. You're not gonna be moving any furniture or pieces of art or anything, just the things that you need on a temporary basis. You're not to consume alcohol. You're not to consume drugs without a valid prescription. No weapons, no firearms. And I want to make it extraordinarily clear, no contact directly or indirectly means exactly what I just said. We've had a couple folks here this morning that didn't understand that. They had contact, the police were called, conditions of release were revoked, and they're sitting in jail till the case is resolved. Did you want me to appoint the public defender to represent you, Mr. Taylor?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna appoint the public defender to represent you. Daryl, anything else you want me to know, sir?
I don't want no contact.
I've just ordered that, and should that become a problem, it's your responsibility to contact law enforcement. All right?
Correct.
All right, thanks, sir. Good luck.
Thank you.
No worries.
All right, next I have Justin Aldridge.
You gotta pay the bond. I don't know if you had the PD form, because he was at mental health at the time, but I did fill one out for
Uh,
Mr. Taylor.
For Mr. Taylor, I have a advice to defendant first appearance bond. I don't have that.
Okay, I had him sign one, just so
Okay.
we could have it in the file.
Good deal.
There you go. So it's 300 with the bail bonds, about 250.
Thank you. And he does appear to qualify, so that's great. Thank you, man. Public-
Yeah, they'll let you use the phone.
Justin Aldridge.
So, what you mean she won't? Who do you need to call? What's her number?
Do we have Talia Rodriguez?
Just tell her to.
No more witnesses.
No more witnesses? All right.
Okay. And bond you out? Okay. Okay, of course, thank you.
All right, Justin Aldridge is before the court charged with domestic violence battery. I've reviewed the charging affidavit. I find probable cause. Mr. Aldridge is currently set on no bond. State, did you want to be heard?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. Mr. Aldridge, did you want me to appoint the public defender to represent you?
Yes, sir. Or I can hire an attorney.
Okay, so your choices are these. I can appoint the public defender now, and if you retain counsel, that attorney can substitute in for your assistant public defender. Or if you're pretty certain you're gonna do that, I won't appoint the public defender to represent you, and you can just retain private counsel. It's entirely up to you. You appear to qualify today. You let me know what you want.
Yes, sir. I'll be fine. I'm just.
Don't talk. I mean,
What?
I just don't want him to start talking about.
No, I understand. I was just gonna advise him that, but I think you got a handle, Madam
Yeah.
Sure.
Assistant Public Defender.
Your Honor, he would like the public defender.
All right, I'm gonna appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent Mr. Aldridge. I've reviewed the charging affidavit. I find probable cause. I'm gonna require that Mr. Aldridge have no contact directly or indirectly with Talia Rodriguez or the child that they share in common. Those conditions can be modified at a later date by the judge in Division 50, Judge Allen, but for the time being, there'll be no contact. This appears to have occurred at a hotel on International Drive, 10739.
Mm-hmm.
Am I reading that correctly, or is that where they live?
You don't live there, right?
No, I don't think
No, they don't live there, Your Honor.
Okay.
That's where it happened at
All
International.
right.
it's a hotel.
Mm-hmm.
So no return to the hotel. If Mr. Aldridge has any possessions at the hotel, He's entitled to go back there in the presence of law enforcement. They may have collected his possessions and have them for him at the front desk. He's not to consume any alcohol, drugs without prescriptions, weapons, or firearms. And I'm going to set bond in the amount of $1,000.
Your Honor, I would also ask to maintain separate residence.
All right? They'll maintain separate residences. And the child is
Back in Hollywood.
PVCEHOYV Billy.
Then you're fine. Then you're good. Okay, you're good.
I'm not even going to try to pronounce it. Derek Hoffman.
That's it.
Yep.
Thank you so much, man.
All right, Mr. Hoffman is here on the charge of stalking. I've reviewed the charging affidavit. I find probable cause. I'm going to set bond in the amount of $2,000. I'm going to require the defendant have no contact directly or indirectly with Sydney Branch. That means not going by the apartment on Lee Vista Boulevard, 1081 Lee Vista Boulevard, apartment 10209. No telephone, texting, social media, friends reaching out, no contact directly or indirectly, no alcohol, no drugs, without prescription, no weapons or firearms. All right, good luck, sir. No
Your
return.
Honor, did you appoint us?
I meant to if I didn't. I just did.
Thank you.
All right, next I have Indel Cantave. All right, Mr. Cantave is here on a warrant out of Polk County. The judge in that case has set bond at none. This is on a violation of probation. I'm going to stay the bond at none. Polk County should come and get Mr. Cantave within 24 hours. And I think that'll do it. Good luck, sir. Next, I have Caitlin Estrada. Ms. Estrada is here on a violation, an out-of-county warrant for a failure to appear. Bond on that is set in the amount of $2,000. I'm going to stay that in that amount. If Ms. Estrada does not post bond, I understand they'll come and get her within 24 hours. Good luck, Ms. Estrada. Next, I have Trevor Lands. Mr. Lands is here on, I'm sorry, Ms. Lands is here on a warrant from Gwinnett, Georgia. Based upon that warrant with a no bond status, I'll stay the bond at none, and they will come get her from Georgia. Yes, ma'am?
I was just gonna ask, what is usually the timetable of a extradition, or what could I be looking at in terms of being?
Those are great questions. Someone from warrants extradition is going to come see you. The process, they'll explain to you in greater detail than I can.
Okay.
You can either waive extradition and you'll be out of here more quickly. If you fight extradition, they'll have to get a governor's warrant from the state of Georgia, which takes longer. But they'll explain all that to you. I would make a guess as to how long you'd be here, but I'm gonna leave it up to them to explain to you. All right?
One more thing. So waiving extradition, I just need a better explanation. Okay, so when I waive extradition, that means that I'll probably just get out of here quicker. But if I'm not waiving extradition, then I have to fight the governor's warrant and try to quash that warrant.
I think that's a pretty safe explanation.
All right.
This is public defender might be able to answer a couple questions for you real quick, and then I'm gonna move on to Jaquela Redding.
She bonded.
Oh, she bonded. Nice. How about Kira Shaw? Okay.
Thank you so much.
All right, you're welcome. Good luck.
You too. Oh, sorry.
All right. Ms. Shaw is here on an arrest warrant as a fugitive from justice out of Los Angeles, California. So I'm going to stay the bond at none, and they're going to come get her. She's in a similar situation. Someone from extradition will come talk to you and explain to you how that works. You can either waive extradition or they'll have to get a governor's warrant from Governor Newsom. All right, good luck. Jalen Alexander. All right, Mr. Alexander is here on a violation of probation, set no bond, and on a warrant signed by Judge Marquez for Judge Kranek in Division 20. The judge has indicated no bond. I'll stay the bond at none. And did you want me to appoint the public defender to represent you?
Yes, Your Honor.
I'll appoint the public defender to represent you. Next, I have Rashida Skirvin. Ms. Skirvin is here on a violation of probation on a warrant signed by Judge Kranek, also in Division 20. Judge Kranek has set the bond at none. I'll stay the bond at none on the violation of probation. Did you want me to appoint the public defender to represent you?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, I'll appoint the office of public defender to represent you on the violation of probation. Good luck. Oh, wait. I got a bunch more paperwork on Ms. Skirvin. It looks like Ms. Skirvin was out on bond on a resisting arrest charge from March in 2025 MM 200167 AW. That bond amount was $250. She's also out on bond in a Division 12 case, fleeing and attempted to elude, which is a felony in 2025 CF 2628 AO. Madam Clerk, that violation of probation warrant, was that before or after this? The violation may have been the new law violation.
Yes, Your Honor, do you not have the new law offense, or has that already been addressed?
I have the new law events. Okay, so I need to set bond on that.
You still gotta go back.
So the new law, so I have the VOP, I've already stayed the bond at none. So the question is whether I revoke the conditions of release on the 2025.
On the CF case, Your Honor, that was back from February, and it has not been filed on yet. So I'd ask that you take no action. If you are inclined to revoke the resisting, that you revoke in double. She's already here on the violation of probation, so she has to deal with that first before she even gets out.
Okay.
But she has to also go deal with Lake County as well.
Gotcha. Well, but she's not getting any time in on these as well. State, do you have thoughts on what I do with the felonies, the misdemeanor and the felony that she's out on bond?
As indicated by defense, Your Honor, the felony, that arrest did happen February 26th, and as of today's date, state has not filed any formal charges. With regard to the misdemeanor, that offense happened March 7th. Your Honor, just based on the fact that there are 2 charges that are pending, she picked up a new law offense and she is out on probation, state would ask that you revoke the out on bonds, Your Honor.
Okay. Has the misdemeanor been filed on? I understand the felony has not.
Yes, Your Honor, that was filed on the 11th.
The 11th of April?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, I'm going to, revoke the conditions released on the Resisting Without Violence, which is the 2025 MM 200167 AW. I'm gonna, set a new bond in the amount of, $500. I'm gonna take no action on the felony, which is not yet filed on, which is the 2025 CF 2628 AO. She'll remain out on bond on that in the amount of $1,000. She's got the no bond on the VOP, and I've been advised she's got something in Lake County, so let's not complicate things too much on
And
the
she-
misdemeanor.
She has the new lot as well, Your Honor. The petty theft and the resisting. Is
All
it
right,
for late?
I'm gonna find probable cause, I overlooked that, sorry. And I'm gonna stay the bond at 500 on each of those, petty theft and resisting.
Lake County is 0, so you can't go.
And I'm appointing the public defender on everything that I can appoint the public defender on.
No return, Your Honor?
I'm sorry? Oh, yeah, no return to the location of that offense.
And to
All
clarify.
right, the last one I've got is Mr. Wright, Billy Bernard Wright. Mr. Wright is here on a violation of probation, which carries a no bond. This is signed by Judge John Jordan. He's indicated no bond. I'm going to stay the bond at none. And I'll appoint the Office of Public Defender to represent Mr. Wright on the VOP.
Here you go.
All right. Anything else, Madam Clerk, other than these things I'm going to sign? Anything else from the state?
83-day motions?
I think that's what I'm holding in my hand right now. Let's go ahead and do those, and then I have an 11 o'clock Zoom meeting. All right, Kelvin Davis.
25 CF 3084, denied and information was filed.
Kelvin, Kelvin Davis, 2025 CF 3084.
That's the one I just did, Your Honor, and it should be denied.
I'm sorry. What about 3118?
That can be granted, notice of non-filing.
All right, the 3118 is granted, and the 3084 is denied. Sorry, I got them out of order.
All right.
That's what pens are for. All right. CB Callaway.
25 CF 3056, granted, notice of non-filing.
Chalandra Vidtor.
25 CF 3072, granted, notice of non-filing.
Ramisha McCrimmon.
25 CF 3164, granted, notice of non-filing.
Howard Jones.
25 CF 3022, granted, notice of non-filing.
Robert Linares, Jr.
25 CF 3083, granted, notice of non-filing.
Donald Zarin.
25 CF 3060, denied, information was filed.
Walter Gandy.
25 CF 3120, granted, notice of non-filing.
Janera Spencer.
25 CF 3081, granted, notice of non-filing.
Nicole McKelly.
25 CF 3171, granted, notice of non-filing.
Tawan Taylor.
25 CF 3003, denied, information was filed.
Métis Castillo.
25 CF 2798, denied, and information was filed.
Okay, that's all I have. Anything else, state?
Nothing from the state.
Anything else from the defense?
Nothing from defense.
Madam Clerk? All right, we'll be in recess till 1 o'clock.